All right, y'all. Welcome back with another one, picking it right back up where we left off. Yeah, I apologize for having to interrupt, but it's timing. It's just all about timing. I had to look at my time. So okay, it's 12 o'clock now. So you let me go ahead and start a new one. But yeah, welcome back. Let's continue. It was much more than merely disturbing our conversation. It was done with the intention to prevent Mademoiselle saying something that she should not.
So, Elizabeth killed Felix, and then Archibald helped her cover it up?
In its simplest form, oui.
Yes.
I have heard it directly from the horse's mouth.
You have spoken with Elizabeth already? Did she admit to it?
Not Elizabeth, but Monsieur Sterling.
The time has come to confront Mademoiselle Elizabeth.
Will you allow me to be present?
I think that is an excellent idea. I hope your presence will calm her, and will perhaps allow her to speak more freely.
Please, detective. I know she has done a terrible thing, but I beg of you to give her the time to explain herself.
I will offer Mademoiselle Elizabeth the fair trial that she deserves, as I would with any suspect.
Thank you, Detective Poirot.
Would you bring Mademoiselle Elizabeth to the study, where we will not be disturbed?
Of course, I'll find her immediately.
It's just all, I just look at everybody's life story. It's just be like, damn, life. Okay, my fault, y'all. All right, so damn, something going on right now. Something going on right. Okay, I believe what Monsieur Sterling has already told me about the events that occurred between Elizabeth and the Major. I do not believe she would have to do what she did if he did not attack her. Okay, so okay, and pushed her to the point where she feared for her life. I must listen to her story, the truth, and only then can her punishment be determined.
Mademoiselle Elizabeth, merci for joining us.
Elizabeth, mercy for joining us, yes.
Miss Angeline said you requested to see me urgently.
Oh, you okay?
We have some serious matters to discuss, and I would like to waste no further time.
Oh, yes, Detective. Still not quite myself.
I was surprised when Monsieur Sterling hurried you to assist Madame Vandenbosch last night.
I should not have avoided my duties for so long. The house does not stop because I'm feeling a little under the weather.
That is true, but you cannot be expected to complete all your tasks if you are not in the right frame of mind.
Honestly, Detective, it was best for me to not sit and wallow anymore.
I understand Lucas was not only involved in the strikes, but was on the front line?
Yes, that is where he spent his last moments. Standing shoulder to shoulder with his fellow workers.
The resulting riots were a terrible tragedy. One that I hope we will not have to see or experience again. Something that could have been avoided had the Major and his team done what was required of...
Nobody deserved to die that day. Not my Luke.
My investigation has taken me down many paths this weekend.
Have you been able to uncover who the blackmailer is?
The blackmailer's identity has been established, and they will pay the price for their crimes.
Right.
Wonderful news, Detective. You can put it all behind you now. You must be thrilled.
I would not say thrilled, knowing that such a close friend has betrayed us.
Mademoiselle is correct. What I have learned over this weekend is that people are not always as they appear. While they may give an impression of being a friend or ally, they can in fact be something completely different.
And, what of the Major's killer?
Well, mademoiselle, that is why I have asked you here now.
He don't even want to do it, like, damn. That'd be bad when you be like, damn, you know, it's the circumstances, but it is the fucking law, man. You know, the law, if it was self-defense, then you're fine. You know, hopefully. And that's a hopefully. I posed the question to all of the guests what their thoughts on the major were. Now I extend that question to you.
I'm not quite sure what you want me to say, Detective.
Your honest opinion is all I ask, and s'il te plaît, do not hold back. No one else felt it necessary.
We only spoke when there was something in the house to be done. We did not speak of interests or pastimes.
You knew of his work with Monsieur de Silva?
I only know what is required of me to know, and that is very little.
But you were aware of his work as security at Monsieur de Silva's factory.
I was.
The factory your beloved Luke worked at before he was cruelly taken from this world.
Right.
Yes, Detective.
His death.
Detective, what kind of question is that?
It is a straightforward one.
Elizabeth, look, if you now it's looking like you sought revenge because you're not just coming forward and saying, hey, this is what happened, you know. Yeah, this is everything that happened. Yes, we was wrong for trying to cover it up, but
Mademoiselle, if there is something you wish to tell me, now is that time.
I'm sorry, Detective, I just don't know how to answer it.
Let us consider what we know of the Major. He fronted the militia that attacked the workers at the strike. You were aware of this? You finally had someone to blame for Luke's death. Someone conveniently located in the same house, alone in his study.
No, Detective. It wasn't like that.
Tell me what happened with the Major on the evening of his death.
I was only in here trying to prove what I heard Mr. Beckers say. I was going to report him, I swear. Miss Angeline, you believe me, don't you?
I want to. I am still trying to understand it all myself. Why don't you start from the beginning?
yeah.
I was delivering Miss Angeline's dress to her room when I heard Mr. Beckers arguing with the Major in his study. They were ever so loud. I thought the whole house would have been listening to what they were saying.
I was delivering Miss Angeline's dress to her room. Okay, when I heard Mr. Beckers arguing with the Major in his study, they were ever so loud. Okay, so you was the one. No, somebody said they heard somebody come. Okay. Let me not worry about that right now. I heard Mr. Beckers arguing with the Major in his study. They were ever so loud. I thought the whole house would have been listening to what they were saying.
Mr. Beckers was talking about the factory strikes and how it was the Major's fault. He told him that if he didn't own up to his crimes, he would go to the newspapers.
I cannot imagine the Major would have taken kindly to Monsieur Becker's threat.
So Beckers was in here. Hugo, you were here.
He didn't. He called him some rather uncouth names before Mr. Beckers left and went downstairs.
So he did leave. Okay.
After the altercation between the Major and Master Gideon, you went to speak with him outside. And
Wait. Gideon was there too.
Without anyone knowing.
Hold on. I said Gideon was there, man. After the altercation between the Major and Master Gideon, I thought you was just saying that him and Hugo was arguing. So Gideon was there. Cause I'm looking at something and then I'm looking back. You went to speak after the altercation between the Major and Master Gideon. You went to speak with him outside, and I thought I could look around his study without anyone knowing. So you came snooping, Elizabeth. I had to know for sure if it was true. He deserved to be held accountable. True.
And did you find the proof you are looking for?
I found a payment from Mr. De Silva, but there was nothing incriminating about that. I was so nervous. I felt like my heart was beating out of my chest.
Payment from Mr. Silva, there was nothing incriminating about that. I was so nervous.
And then you saw the blackmail note.
Right.
I recognized the writing on the envelope. I couldn't believe it. How could he do such a thing to Angeline? To the family that had taken him in?
Wait, what? I recognize the writing on the envelope. So you saying the major was doing the blackmailing, but we got Margot as the one doing the blackmailing and using all of the homeless women that she was helping to infiltrate and steal intel from high society families to blackmail them. That's what was our theory. But you saying you recognized the handwriting, so he was blackmailing y'all. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. It's a lot of, hold on. What?
Common sense would determine the major was another victim of the blackmailer.
If I'd have used common sense, I wouldn't have been snooping around alone in his study in the first place.
Yeah.
I heard the footsteps in the hall, and before I could move, the major was standing in front of me, demanding to know why I was going through his belongings without permission. I tried to come up with an excuse, but nothing came out, and when he saw the letter in my hand, it was like Dr. Jekyll turning into Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, because it is. He's a war criminal, and he probably tyrannical and all types of stuff. Yeah.
I tried to move around him towards the door, but he hurled something towards me and it crashed against the wall.
He threw something at her. And it wasn't the damn ice bucket. The ice bucket right there, but it was wet on the floor. Okay. Anyway, go ahead. And then I gotta think about the cigar burn.
That would explain the damage to the wall.
Right.
I froze. I have never been so scared in all my life. I thought he was going to kill me there and then.
And you thought you would beat him to it.
Oh, Detective, you make it sound as though I had it all planned. He lunged forward and grabbed me by the arm. I tried to push him away, but he was too strong.
Wow.
His grip just got tighter and tighter. If only you had seen the look in his eyes, I dared not even scream. I saw the sheath on his belt. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't want to hurt him, but he wouldn't let go of me.
So you took your opportunity to put an end to it all.
I just wanted to get him off me. I didn't want to hurt him. I reached for it and I jabbed it at him. His grip instantly loosened and I ran straight out the door and didn't look back.
You did not even look to see what state you had left him in?
She had just been attacked, Detective.
Oui, please. Continuez.
I ran down to the pantry looking for Rahana. She took one look at me and knew something was wrong. I explained to her what had happened and she went to find Archie. She said he would know what to do. We went back to the study and he was still lying there, motionless. She said that no one would believe me. That if someone like me killed someone like him, I would be sent straight to the gallows. He left the letter so you would find it. He said that if people knew what the Major was really like, then they wouldn't care what happened to him.
So I am to believe that it was Monsieur Sterling and Mademoiselle Rihanna that cleaned the scene and orchestrated a plan that included a fake telephone call and dressing as the Major so that he may be seen. You had nothing to do with that.
I swear I had no idea that is what they had done. Archie just told me to stay out of sight. I am no master criminal.
Then Monsieur Sterling and Mademoiselle Rihanna will be charged for obstruction of justice and impeding my investigation.
Please, Detective, they were only trying to help me.
If they wished to help you, they should have brought all of this to my attention immediately instead of committing more illegal acts.
Yeah.
Surely you haven't forgotten what happened with Florette. She was only accused of stealing a bracelet. I killed a man.
It is a day I have not forgotten, mademoiselle, even for a moment.
Without your help, I don't stand a chance. Please, Detective Poirot. You are the only one that can help me.
Oh, Elizabeth, why didn't you come to me?
Well, you already have a history, Angeline, of hiding a bracelet and trying to set an innocent woman up. You tried to set up Florette, who was Elizabeth's friend. Why would she come to you? I ain't trying to be funny, but Elizabeth is still here working with y'all, but Florette, you tried to reach out to her, you tried to reconcile it, but you could never find her, but still, she didn't want to be found by y'all. She never wanted to see y'all again. Okay, Angeline, you was about to have her be in jail for stealing an expensive bracelet from a well-established family. You took it and she hid it in the fireplace and she was gonna sell it later once Florette got dealt with and was in jail, and you was accusing her and setting her up for stealing something that you had stolen from yourself, Angeline. And Elizabeth chose to stay and work, but why would she trust you? But anyway, go ahead.
I didn't think you would believe me.
I wouldn't trust her. Shit, I'm gonna be honest.
And when it was announced yesterday that he was a victim of the blackmailer, I wanted to tell you everything. I came to find you last night, Detective, but Archie stopped me.
I'm just sitting here, y'all. I'm like, damn, I felt so guilty. And when it was announced yesterday that he was a victim of the blackmailer, I wanted to tell you everything. I came to find you last night, Detective, but Archie stopped me.
I'm sorry.
What else do we need to fucking solve? I mean, shit, that's it. Right? Oh, God. Damn, look at all this stuff. Whew, okay. Okay, let me, Elizabeth stabbed the major when he wouldn't let her go. Okay. Elizabeth was looking for proof of the strikes. Okay. What am I supposed to be connecting here? Defense strike. Oh, yeah. The defense strike.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
Elizabeth's story confirms Margot's claim. The major's death was a result of defense strike. Yeah, but Margot was still out of fucking pocket. Finally, I have solved the case of the major's murder. I must admit, I take no joy in declaring Mademoiselle Elizabeth as the killer, and I wish she had never been put in such a position at all. Damn, Elizabeth. You know, so she was just now finding out about the strikes and that the major was in charge of them. She was looking, she was like, is he telling the truth? Is Hugo telling the truth? But something was said about Gideon. I had to cut my eye away. Right quick. And my attention was averted. It was averted. Let me see.
Yes, Detective. I don't know where it is.
If you have been honest with me until now, I ask that you continue.
I'm sorry, I really don't know. Archie dropped it out of the study window and he said he would deal with it. I couldn't bear to touch the thing.
From my possession, I believe that she does not know, Yeah, they was trying to cover for her. Yeah.
Please, I was only protecting myself. I didn't want to hurt him. He just wouldn't let me go.
Oui, mademoiselle. I know.
Yeah.
Mademoiselle tells quite the harrowing story.
I cannot imagine the Major acting in such a way, but Elizabeth could not make up such a story.
After learning what I have about the Major's character this weekend, I would not question the lengths he would go to in order to keep his secret hidden. I know that you share a close bond with Mademoiselle Elizabeth, but you cannot allow your personal feelings to taint your belief of what took place.
She has committed a terrible crime, but she will live with that for the rest of her life. She is not a cold-blooded killer.
If what she says of the Major's attack is true, she acted in self-defense, and in the law's eyes, a crime has not been committed. I will do everything I can to make sure her story is heard and a fair trial is conducted.
My fault about that, y'all. I had to get up right quick. Okay, she put herself in a dangerous position, but there is a small part of me that commends the duty she felt to find justice for her beloved and the other workers that lost their lives at the Major's orders. Yeah. If the telephone line is now working, I must call in my findings. With the remaining snow, it may still be some time before they arrive.
Mademoiselle, it is time I address the house.
Are you sure? What will you say? What if they do not listen?
I can assure you, they will.
Elizabeth was right, though. She's just a servant. What if they...
Mademoiselle, when Detective Poirot speaks, they will listen. Would you ask the guests to convene in the library?
Of course. And what of the staff?
I have told Monsieur Sterling to remain in the staff quarters with the others. When the authorities arrive, they shall be dealt with. You have been of great help to me throughout my investigation, and now that it is over, I have one final request.
You only need to ask.
While I am speaking with the guests in the library, would you watch over Mademoiselle Elizabeth in my room?
You don't think she will try and escape, do you?
In her position, I do not know what she might try, but I trust with you there, any potential ideas of such a thing will be squashed.
Suicide watch? I don't think she's gonna do that. She might, shit. So it really was self-defense. But if you break the law, then that's it. That's it. That's all.
Detective, you have spent more time making us sit and wait for you than anything else.
Madame Van den Bosch, If you think I have spent my time focused on anything besides uncovering the Major's killer, you are sorely mistaken.
I'm sure you will be eager to share your findings with us then.
All in good time, madame. Firstly, to understand the truth of what has occurred this weekend, one must know the timeline of events that not only preceded the Major's death, but succeeded.
We are all well aware of what happened before, Detective. You can save your breath.
You are only aware of what the guilty parties wanted you to believe, but now I shall apprise you to the true events. The reason for us all being here, you know. The altercation between Monsieur Demire and the Major, you know. The body of Monsieur Hagen was found while we were all sat enjoying a most delicious meal. That you also know. But what was kept from us all was that his body lay on the study floor for far longer than was thought.
It was that servant. She found him.
S'il te plaît, monsieur. It was indeed young Inga that found the Major's body lying lifeless in the study.
So it was her.
Monsieur, I will not allow for any further interruptions. I return to the Major's body. If we are to believe the scene that we were presented with, the Major must have been killed during the first course of our meal, a meal that none of you left, even for a moment. Speaking in the evening, you all confirmed one another's alibis, and although there was doubt in the validity of some, I confirmed that they were indeed all true. What I could not understand was how a man came to be found dead, and every guest accounted for at the time of death. That is until I questioned the latter. Monsieur Beckers, I shall now allow you to speak. You saw the Major smoking a cigar in the snow. Is that true?
It is.
False. You saw what you were meant to see. Someone in the Major's coat standing outside, giving the illusion that the Major was still very much alive. Monsieur da Silva, on the afternoon of the Major's death, do you recall hearing a telephone ring?
Now that you mention it, I have not heard a single ring all weekend.
Correct. The telephone lines have been down for the duration of our stay, meaning the telephone call that was received and promptly directed to the Major's study was yet another act of trickery and deceit. But it did not end there. When I entered the study for the first time, it was obvious someone had already been there and falsified the scene to stage a burglary and clear away important evidence, including the murder weapon. What followed was an investigation that had already been hindered. But even those lengths were not enough to derail me for long.
I think we have all had enough of your self-praise, Detective. Perhaps you would like to tell us who killed him now?
Madame, as I'm sure you would expect, it is not as simple as that. What many of you do not know is the discussion that was had between the Major and Monsieur Beckers earlier that day.
What has that got to do with anything? I told you I didn't kill him.
That I know to be true. What you do not know is that it was not only his ears that heard your spoken words.
I hope you are not implying I had something to do with it.
No, madame, there was another. Mademoiselle Elisabeth. You are all aware that the Major was hired by Monsieur da Silva to front the security during the workers' strikes. What very few of you know is that it was the Major's order that instigated the vicious attacks on those unarmed men and resulted in numerous deaths, including Mademoiselle Elisabeth's fiancé, Luc. Monsieur Beckers confronted the Major, declaring that he was to hand himself in. That is what Mademoiselle Elisabeth overheard. Now, knowing the truth, she waited until the Major was away from his study. After he stepped outside following the confrontation with Monsieur Demire's fist, it looked to be the perfect opportunity, or so she thought. The Major returned and found her looking for the proof she required to hand him over to the authorities.
If the maid bumped him off, why hasn't she been arrested?
The events that followed in the study are not those of a cold-blooded murder, but one of a young girl that had no other option but to protect her own life.
Sounds to me, Detective, like you have taken a shine to this young girl and would rather protest her innocence than arrest her for murder, the crime she has committed.
Jeez, this is gonna make for a juicy story.
Mademoiselle, I ask you this. You have seen the Major's anger before, oui?
What if I have?
How do you think he would have reacted if someone was to find proof that he had committed a terrible act, and that if made public, would surely result in his incarceration? Exactement.
It is quite the story you have told, Detective, but all I have heard is that Elizabeth overheard a conversation blaming the Major for her fiancé's death, and she murdered him in revenge. A servant killing a man that is as revered as he was. She will face the noose.
I am not denying that a man has lost his life, but it is not the crime of murder that you all believe. While the Major did not deserve to die in such a way, it was his actions towards Mademoiselle Elizabeth that drove her to defend herself in any way she could. Mademoiselle Elizabeth will be punished, but we will let the law decide the severity of her punishment.
She has played you like a fiddle, Detective, acting the innocent victim. She will be arrested and hanged for her crime, like every other cold-blooded killer.
Here.
Give her what she deserves.
The girl has got to pay for what she's done.
Exactly. Exactly. Like they done all, oh, she this and she that. Well, y'all forgot about what y'all did, huh? But I didn't. Yes, I think you should.
Those of you that are calling for the hanging of Mademoiselle Elizabeth, have you forgotten the roles you played? Your actions have been far from innocent.
Especially you, Cassandra. You the first one hollering about give her the noose, but you the one that cheated on you went and cheated on your husband and made Angeline with the Major, who is now deceased, and she don't even know that's her daddy yet. Right now, boom, dang, there you go, right there, bam, bam, bam. You know.
Look, Detective, I see where you are going with this, but it's not going to work. So maybe the strikes were down to De Silva and Beckers. But don't try and drag me into their mistakes.
Mademoiselle Conrad, if you are so confident of your innocence, perhaps we should begin with you.
Come on now, it's always the confident ones. That's the one we want. She confident, she arrogant. Let's go. She's a she's bossy, okay?
To uncover truths. To show the world what it is really like out there.
Why then do you go to such lengths to concoct and fabricate stories?
Listen, Poirot, I am not going to stand here and be accused of something like that. You know how damaging that can be to one's reputation.
You knew the situation surrounding the strikes, and only sought to swell the anger in people and create further chaos. Mademoiselle, you so often have something to say. Now is not the time for silence.
Okay, come on now. Come on now.
You really are delusional. Maybe you should just keep your theories and claims to yourself. Talking of sacrificing lives, have you forgotten what you have done? Look, it's...
Mademoiselle, I do not have time for your excuses. Do you wish to state your direct involvement, or should I?
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Poirot, but I have done nothing wrong. I must say, though, you certainly put your heart and soul into it. All that matters is what happened in that room, and that was that Elizabeth stabbed him. What came before is irrelevant. She murdered him, and now she has to pay the price.
Now is the time to admit your lapse of judgment. You allowed Mademoiselle Conrad to manipulate you like a puppet.
Ridiculous. I told you already we spoke about the strikes, but she hardly had the authority to make me do anything.
All right, y'all. I'm about to go. What we're going to have to do is come back and finish this off. I'm about to go stream for the Fortnite event. I'll be back. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. And yeah.